It's not just another year for the Mustang. It's a new pulse, a sharper growl, and a bolder soul. The 2026 Ford Mustang arrives not to whisper change, but to shout rebellion. There's nothing subtle about it. The design punches straight through the ordinary, ditching nostalgia for precision-led aggression. From its front splitter that dares the wind to its sculpted hood lines that hint at a caged animal ready to pounce, this is a Mustang that's moved far beyond classic muscle tropes. It's angular, leaner, and more athletic than ever, slicing the air with aerodynamic intent. The front fascia now wears an evolved expression, as if the Mustang knows it's king and doesn't need to prove it anymore. The lighting signatures have evolved, with tri-bar LED daytime running lights now sharper and more aggressive, fusing with the piercing new headlamps that glare with intent. The grille, depending on trim, ranges from refined intimidation on the EcoBoost to raw aggression on the GT and Dark Horse variants. There's new colors too, ones that change their attitude in the light, from vapor blue metallic to ember glow, each more expressive than the last. And the wheels, 19-inch standard, 20-inch optional, designs ranging from stealth black to brushed aluminum, wrapping performance tires that grip the pavement like they've got something to prove. Step inside, and the cabin no longer whispers, retro. It screams performance tech theater. The traditional twin cowl dash has been replaced with a sleek, driver-focused layout anchored by a massive curved digital display. A 12.4-inch digital cluster flows into a 13.2-inch center screen running the latest Sync 5 interface. Every surface, every contour, has been reshaped to celebrate technology, not resist it. The center screen isn't just there for show, it's customizable, responsive, and perfectly angled toward the driver, merging form with function. Animated graphics bring driving modes to life. Toggle into sport or track, and the cluster transforms, gauges change color, animations ignite, and suddenly you're not in a car, you're in a cockpit. The materials feel elevated. GT trims receive leather-appointed seats with contrast stitching that echo the exterior accents. Dark Horse trims go even further, featuring suede inserts, deep blue accents, and carbon fiber trim that's more than decorative, it's a statement. Even the ambient lighting has evolved. It doesn't just light the cabin, it choreographs it. Step in, and the Mustang greets you with an animated light show that feels like a welcome from a high-tech beast. The flat-bottom steering wheel is now more tactile, with magnesium paddle shifters that click with authority. And for those who crave control, yes, the manual gearbox lives on. A 6-speed Tremec on the GT and Dark Horse variants, with rev matching and a clutch pedal that delivers the kind of feedback purists dream of. Ford didn't just keep the manual alive, they gave it a stage to shine on. Under the hood, the Mustang still roars with freedom. The 2.3-liter EcoBoost returns, now fine-tuned for greater efficiency and sharper throttle response. But for those who worship displacement, the naturally aspirated 5.0-liter Coyote V8 has been re-engineered yet again. Now making up to 500 horsepower in the Dark Horse, it delivers not just raw power but a more refined scream, thanks to a new dual intake and dual throttle body design. The engine breathes better, it revs harder, and when paired with the active valve performance exhaust, it sings a soundtrack that's half opera, half war cry. But the Mustang isn't just about brute force anymore. It's about intelligence. Ford's engineers have pushed the chassis to new limits. A stiffer structure, enhanced rear suspension geometry, and recalibrated Magneride dampers all contribute to sharper handling without compromising the everyday ride. Cornering feels instinctive. Steering is more precise, thanks to a quicker ratio and improved feedback. And with launch control now standard on performance trims, getting off the line is brutally efficient. Drive modes are smarter too. Normal, sport, slippery, track, and drag strip each recalibrate throttle mapping, shift logic, suspension response, and exhaust note. And for the truly bold, a customizable mode lets drivers tailor every setting down to steering weight and brake feel. It's personalization, but with a racing soul. One of the most talked about additions. The electronic drift brake. It looks like a traditional handbrake, but it's been engineered in collaboration with Ford's racing division to function like a performance tool. In track mode, it allows the rear wheels to break traction with precision, turning novices into drift heroes. It's not just a gimmick, it's training wheels for the wild side. And while the Mustang remains true to its roots, Ford hasn't forgotten the world it drives through. Advanced driver assistance systems now come standard, adaptive cruise control, lane centering, blind spot monitoring, and even traffic sign recognition. There's also a 360-degree camera system for tight urban navigation, and pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. It's a muscle car with modern armor. Fuel economy improves slightly for the EcoBoost, thanks to revised internals and improved aerodynamics, averaging around 26 mpg combined. The GT trims hover closer to 18 mpg, while the Dark Horse leans more toward 17, but that's the price of high revving perfection. And for many, it's a price worth paying with a grin. Pricing remains relatively grounded. The base EcoBoost Fastback starts just under $32,000, with the GT beginning in the $43,000 range. The Dark Horse, a track weapon with road manners, pushes closer to $60,000, but it includes a suite of hardware that rivals many European sports cars priced far higher. Optional packages like the handling pack, Recaro seats, and carbon wheels can push the price further, but each dollar adds performance in a tangible, seat-of-your-pants way. Hidden features. There are plenty. The Mustang now includes a remote rev feature. Using the key fob, you can start the engine and let it bark to life from a distance, not practical but wildly satisfying. There's also a quiet exhaust mode for early mornings, and a track app suite that includes acceleration timers, G-forces, and braking performance, all accessible through the digital cluster. And perhaps the most surprising, the Mustang now supports over-the-air updates. From performance tweaks to new graphics and features, the car evolves even after it leaves the showroom. Despite all these changes, there's still one undeniable truth: the Mustang is unmistakably a Mustang. From the moment you hear the ignition thump to life, to the way it settles into a rumbling idle, to the grip of the wheel in your hands and the pull of the throttle under your foot, it doesn't just move, it stirs something primal. It invites roads to challenge it. It turns gas stations into gathering spots. And it reminds every driver behind the wheel that some legends don't retire, they reinvent. The 2026 Mustang doesn't chase trends. It doesn't beg for approval. It's not polite. It's not modest. It's the rebel heart of American performance, reimagined for a new era, but still addicted to the thrill. And in a world increasingly ruled by silence and screens, it roars, not just because it can, but because someone still needs to.